All right, guys, welcome to Tuesday Lunch and Learn. We're doing a charting session. Me and Thor are hopping on voice now. I'm recording this to be watched later because I know timing is hard with different time zones and different schedules, things like that. So if you have any charts that you'd actually like us to look at, please head over to the thread channel that is right underneath Market Talk, and I'm going to type an @ here in there so it pops up if it happens to be read already from last week. Oh, can you guys hear my rooster? He's the one that likes to sit right
I
outside my window as soon as he starts
I
talking.
don't see any tickers here, so maybe we're going to have to talk about something else.
Yeah, totally good with me. It's lunch and learn. So we are trying to teach some about higher time frame charting and looking at the bigger picture on tickers. So if there's anything, even if you're not trading it or just curious about, tag us and let us know. And in the meantime, I think we're going to wander into the direction of whatever two experienced traders might want to talk about. I don't know. Thor is like 35 years worth of trading experience. I am 22 as of February 2002. There is my rooster. He's now, every time he hears me talk, comes and sits underneath the window. It's pretty funny. Can you guys hear him?
I'm going to stop counting at 30 from now on, Cedar. I don't want to give everything away. So we'll just
Fine.
say 30 from now on.
30 plus. How about that? Can I put a
Yeah,
plus after it?
that's good enough. 30
Okay,
plus.
well, totally.
Well, you have something you want? Is there anything here that they? Oh, all right. Ocean put TGT.
Oh, target.
TGT. Isn't that Target?
Yeah. Remember last week I said if it doesn't, it better pull its stuff together. Here we are, pulling together.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember talking about it, but I don't remember much anyways.
We call that CRS, can't remember stuff, or maybe another word.
There is another word
Yeah.
because it came to mind as soon as you said it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's a good policy to have. You just wake up and do what you need to do each day. So I'm going to flip out to the monthly.
yeah, this is an interesting looking chart. Maybe isn't this just going? I don't normally bring up news, but wasn't this an issue with theft that because I'm starting to remember us talking about this.
There
Target
was some
originally was a
theft.
really well run company.
Yeah, we talked about last week. There was some theft issues, but they also made some unfortunate miscalculations in who their base was of who they were going to be marketing towards and product development and promotions. That's all I put out there last week. That it was some heavy miscalculations on what they should have been doing base
Did it
wise.
have something to do with theft as well?
A little bit, not a lot. That all retail is kind of affected by that, which is why I think we've seen this downtrend. But it the heavy selling that we saw off of that bear flag was directly related to the like spring, maybe April 23 of I'm just gonna like smack my face and go, who approved this? That's all I'm gonna say.
Really nice recovery today. I mean, I'm
Beautiful.
looking at the daily and I wouldn't buy. I don't like those gaps up like that. I don't like to chase them.
On the weekly, it's beautiful though. So be looking for, and I'm in this position. That's why I remember you saying last week, you're like, you have some very definitive levels. And I said, yeah, if we don't come into the next week really strong, that position will be liquidated. So it has
I
been
do remember you
saved.
saying that. Yeah.
Yep, the 107.20 was rescued today. So I'll
Yeah.
read.
I mean,
Go ahead.
and I still don't like it. I can see what you're saying. If you're in it, today was certainly positive. Um, it looks like it. I mean, if I were in it and I'm looking at today, I'd be thanking my lucky stars, but I'd also be looking at getting out under 100.
Oh yeah, no, mine's a weekly close under the 107.
Oh,
We
really?
need to not go 107.20. Yeah, no, and I'm already underwater. I think it's like 18 or 20% on the position. Like I'm giving it its room because it did continue to sell off like a month ago. And it's in a long-term position. So I don't really I've got a like long-term 5 to 10 year hold minimum, but I'm also not going to continue to ride this down. For sure. A
Well,
hundred would be the end of I'd be like, ah, absolutely not.
right when you said 107, I'm going, why would she do that? And I missed the key word there, close under the weekly.
Yes. So
Yeah,
there's a difference
I'm
between
trying to,
on a daily, but yeah, so the weekly for me is a huge piece when I'm looking at long-term investments because it week to week, you can tell that there's a little clearer picture and these lines are all drawn on the weekly. So on my charts, and I'll post this, anytime you see a blue horizontal line, it's drawn on a weekly time frame based on volume.
yeah, I'm looking at, I drew a line straight across on the weekly, at 110.57. I guess that was what it was a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that, it's kind of interesting. Going back to 2020, it catches, uh, it catches that area, on a little bit of volume. So there's a reason 110.57 looks like it could be, well, not exact. I say 110.57 because that's what it happens to catch.
With a big wide
But
highlighter. Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I'm just looking at it now, and it catches it all the way back to no September, October of 2019.
Oh, there's
Hey,
a
Brand.
bunch of interaction back there. And then
Yeah,
I attempted back test of it as we climbed back out into the summer of 2020, but we didn't, it held as a really solid support. So it's still not great, but it's been rescued from the you're immediately on the chopping block right now. If we did not have this candle, my long-term position would be closed. So I'm
yeah. I'm
looking
looking
for
at it now.
continuation.
I don't know if today's run had anything to do with this. I hope not, because if today's run had something to do with the stock really making a recovery, then it's probably not a good long-term position. I mean, I mean that
Right.
in
In a swing
the
trading.
reason why.
Yeah, in a swing
Yeah,
trading. And
from a
so
trading point of view.
we are talking about two different things. So you guys haven't been around and heard us talk. We come from very different trading background experiences. And when I'm looking at these high time frames, I'm really approaching it from these are long-term positions, 10 years, probably could potentially even be passed to my grandchildren who are not born yet. So I'm looking at a different scale where I don't do a lot of commons swing trades. That's just not my style. I've kind of found my niche in futures and options day trading and some option swings, but I tend to not trade in and out of equities, where Thor trades them like a maniac all day long. So he's thinking of it in a time frame of the next 30 days. And I could, even go 2 weeks or a week. And I'm like, is this going to matter at all in 2 years? Probably not.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, not everything, but
Yeah.
Cedar's right. I don't really trade longer term. I mean, SPY I trade intraday. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
trade SPY 5-10 minutes.
Well, I think we
Um,
actually might, and I'm not going to say this too loud. We might actually be able to get Thor on voice with us as he's doing some of his, once he's in his flow and not doing other things for his business. If he's day trading SPY, he might just hop on with me. Just saying. Maybe.
maybe I'm thinking about
I
it,
know. I don't want to scare. I'm like,
uh,
don't spook the shadow.
but anyway, not all of them are the short term. I mean, I called out SoFi today,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at that more, as a month out. And another one that I called out a little while ago that I'm playing long term is Rite Aid, and that one's up. Well, it's up a lot. I mean, I told everybody to buy it at 50. I got out a bunch of it. Because I went short shares and options.
Options.
I'm sitting in the options right now that I want to unload, and I think I can get out at like 50%. And then the shares I sold 75% of them on a real good kick. So I don't remember exactly what price I sold them at, but I'm in the rest of what I have free, and it ran from 50 all the way to I think 67 right now. So that's another long-term play, and I'm just looking at it from short covering and possibly Rite Aid turning it around or getting bought out. Who knows? But it's kind of it's a good risk reward for me now.
Yeah, I like it.
And then other stocks that I have like DTC is one that I have long term. Tilray, I have a ton of Tilray that I'm just waiting for. All we need is the banking or the government to take it off Schedule One, or at least okay banking for it, so that these companies that are in the pot business can get proper banking, and that really changes the fortunes of a stock. Just being able to get proper banking. Um, and there's a couple others, but Cedar for the most part is correct. I don't really trade in the or look at charts in the same way she does.
Even though we
Um,
come up with similar levels, the what I'm using this for is that bigger, like long-term investment or bigger picture of key areas to buy, and that can be including for options trading. But yeah, it's a little different approach, but it's oddly similar in a lot of the levels that we come up with, which I figure is just the University of Hard Knocks. Your eye gets practiced. Okay,
yeah,
next ticker we have is Dollar General. I already have it marked up on my chart. I will let you talk about it. And one thing to know, if you haven't listened to these, we don't go and look at them. Today there was none to even look at, but we don't, I mean, they're just like, while we were talking for the last 60 seconds, I just marked it up what I would narrating it. So I'll let you take that one, Thor, because Target was my, it's saved.
this is really interesting because I was already on the monthly for Target, and as soon as I punched in the key, I'm looking at this going, oh my god.
Yeah.
If you bring up look at it on a monthly really quick while I'm kind of switching around here.
Oh, that was the first one I went to because I did the same thing, switched over. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to
Uh,
mark my levels on weekly, but monthly is very fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it right now, I think it has to get down to 90, right there on that monthly at 98, right around $98. I don't think it's through selling off. That's just looking at the monthly.
So on
Um,
weekly, I tagged 96.86, and I actually have a range from 93, well, let's call it 94 to 96 and a half.
yeah, see, we're right in the same area. I just glanced at it, ran my cursor around on the monthly and came up with around, just under 100 somewhere, 98. Your numbers are just as good because I'm throwing that out there on a monthly. So
Right.
those numbers are not exact. You're looking at a weekly. Yours are probably closer to being better than mine, but
And mine were dropped
looking at it
on the
quickly
volume
right away.
profile also, so the overall trading range in those areas. So that's one difference you'll see is Thor used candle structure. He uses volume a lot, but not the volume profile. So I use volume profile and candle structure. His is more the candle structure itself.
Yeah, I mean, I do use some volume indicators, and
Yeah.
I really don't know what they mean anymore because I kind of looked around on TradingView
Hmm.
and I loaded a couple here and there. And one of them I have on there that I haven't deleted yet. I don't even know what it does. I put it in there a month ago and I've never deleted it. I probably should check it out. But I really love volume. Volume is the key to everything, in my opinion. And you don't need all these indicators. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't use them because a lot of the analysts use a lot of different indicators and they work for them. For me, I hardly use any. I mean, I really just, when I'm looking at a chart, it's bare. And when I see a chart I like, I've said this before, then I start adding, looking for support, resistance, and then I'll start drawing trend lines and I'll start looking at candles. And the candles I use are not, all these doji, three trolling soldiers, whatever, all these different terms they have. I really just use candle wick rejects. I love those, either up or down. So I really keep it really simple. But for me, it's really easy for me to look at a chart and know right away whether I want to look at it further.
Well, what we should do, let's go look at that indicator. I'll pull my volume. Well, I'll leave my volume profile on. I want to look at it because my indicators are volume based entirely.
This
So
one's
yeah, like check it out.
this one's called I don't know, man.
Sometimes the name is different
Here,
than,
I'll copy paste it in here and see if you
okay.
can find it in the.
So like my anchored VWAP and standard deviations, volume weight adjusted price, it's all based off of volume. The levels that I mark off the visible range volume profile and like volume point of control, value area high and low are all value based. So the stuff that I
See if you
use
can find
is a
that one.
visual
I just posted
representation.
it.
Okay.
I didn't finish talking about Dollar General,
Okay,
so
perfect.
I will.
I'll look
I mean,
at I'll look at that while you're finishing up.
Okay. Um, yeah, I mean it could have found some support right in here. I brought up a weekly and I'm actually looking like just right around 100. Cedar has something a little different and maybe hers is closer, but I feel if it holds above 100, it could probably make a recovery from here. It's really surprising how bad it looks though. I mean,
It's pretty bad.
when the economy's bad and money's tight, normally these kind of stores do better. Even the people with money start shopping at places like this. Yeah, I mean, I would look to maybe get in if it holds above 100, and over 106, I'd probably start adding. So that's my thinking on Dollar General, but it does look pretty bad. There had to be some sort of news there, and they're still paying a dividend.
I think it has a lot to do with the theft pieces of all retail in particular.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If they continue to pay a dividend, it's not a bad one. It's not great, but it's not bad.
I'm
59
I'm
cents.
probably going to add this to my long term at like 94 is and just
Yeah.
tight underneath it. Our volume point of control over higher time is 72, so it could keep going down, but I would probably put like a monthly close less than say 91 to give it a little bit of room. But I could be an initiative long down once we get into that little cluster of volume below us. But not yet. That's where you just set your alerts and go. The indicator that I pulled up is from Lazy Bear, created it. And I don't know if it's the same one. It's an oscillator that pops up below the main chart. Is that what yours looks like? It looks like stochastics to me.
Yeah, it's been so long, I can't remember.
Okay. Well, it looks like
Well,
stochastics.
just-
So I just wanted to see
I just left it
if
there.
it was if it was on.
I think I was looking around for some volume indicators that would line up to my way of thinking.
Well, is
And
it
I was
but is
probably
it on the
going
main
to-
chart or is it underneath as a
Yeah, it's underneath here.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
post my actual chart. This is rad. 5 minute. I just happen to have that up on TradingView. And this is what it looks like on the 5 minute. Maybe I should bring a.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, so Lazy Bear's the creator of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to find it. I mean, where the hell is it?
If you type in volume
Yeah, I
flow,
mean,
that'll be
I
the
don't know,
first
looking
one.
at it looks like it's. I don't really look at it anymore much, but it looks like it actually is legit. All right, here's what my chart looks like with it.
Okay, yeah, that's the same indicator. Yep, you got it.
Yeah, I wonder. I've never really, I never really messed with it. It looks like it might be pretty reliable on a daily. I mean, just an indicator to add to what you're looking at if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do enough for me to keep it.
Yeah, I wouldn't keep it. So the Fu Manchu, the VMC oscillator that I use is I found I like better than this style. This and I would consider this a stochastic style. Oh, we might be getting our rug pull on SPY and ES right now. Just if you're in longs, you should probably be, if you're not out right now.
Which one are you talking about?
SPY and ES for futures.
Oh,
So I'm a buy the dip today, but if we get rug pulled, I'll be waiting for that dip buy. But if you're long, you've been long in this range for what, an hour? Just saying.
all right, so we got, then, are you done with, Dollar General? Did you?
So basically mine was just a piggyback on yours. I really, it's very hard to buy right here with all of this selling. However, they are actually a really good company as far as their advancement into smaller communities that don't have Walmarts. And as we're seeing Walmarts closing in some of the larger stores because of the theft issues, things like Walgreens, I think it actually has a pretty good future. And some of the stores, at least in my area and surrounding areas within a couple, 2, 3 hours that don't have one of the larger chain stores, get a Dollar General or a Family Dollar. And they're kind of interchangeable, as far as that goes. I don't like the Family Dollar company as well, but the Dollar General, I think, is going in my long-term portfolio. I just want to see a little bit more. I want to see a little bottoming pattern happen because if we don't see some, we've had pretty heavy volume traded. I'm pulling my chart up. Yeah, so our highest volume days were May 30th this year, and then also August 28th. And we're starting to wean off on that volume. So this is actually the lowest volume week since the end of August, which is good. So I'm going to just watch it really closely here. I am probably going to add it to my long-term investments here if we can see that we're stabilizing and not just continuing to fall through the bottom of that like 95-ish range, so 94 to 96.5.
Yeah, my thinking is if you really, really like it, I agree with Cedar. You're probably better off waiting, but if you really, really like it, you can start in on some now.
Put a small
in
position,
case
like
it never
half a
gets to
percent
where
or
Cedar's talking.
something tiny.
But you definitely don't want to load the boat. You can start in here and wait for Cedar's numbers to hit if they hit, and then load more. But if you really like it, it is a good company. I think it's possible that it holds above 100. If that happens, of course, it's not going to get down to where Cedar's talking, which is
Right.
of course, a better buy, and it probably will. But like I said, if you really love it, you can try and get in some if it holds 100. Just don't go full boat.
All right, next one is Lucid. So I just flipped my chart over. I'm a straight out on this one. Can't even touch it. That's my very first impression. So I've got my volume profile up. Our volume point of control, if you wanted to trade mean reversion, $7.18 is the target. We have a cluster of volume like 620 to 640. I can't touch this. This could be worth 30 cents in 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, as great as that candle looks today,
Yeah. Nope.
Cedar is absolutely 100% right. As soon as I look at it, I go, yeah, I mean, that pop up today gets your attention, but let's not forget that it just made a lower low. It hasn't shown any kind of recovery yet. I don't like it at all. I wouldn't touch it. I'd watch it for a while and see if it can make a higher low and then a higher high, and then start really watching it for some resistant points to start getting in. But I'm with Cedar on it. I wouldn't touch this.
The thing you have to keep in mind with a chart like this, and it's an EV chart, they're higher priced than what Tesla is. They're much further out from mass production. So this is a speculative, if you want to, be like, oh, did I find the new Tesla? Which I think is why a lot of people kind of fell in love with the alternate EVs in all the craziness around Tesla. But what you need to ask yourself is, in a chart like this, if this thing just went sideways, if it just stayed here at $5 for the next 10 years, which is highly probable, or bounced between $4.50 and $8, just kind of back and forth, becomes a tradable range, but it's not. There's probably other things that have more potential promise than hoping that this is the next Tesla, is my general recommendation.
Cedar, I'm actually calling an alert here right now on
Okay.
Polster.
Awesome. Speaking of EVs, Polestar actually had another product out quite a while ago, had a bunch of issues with recalls. They might have a little, they've got more experience than a lot of the other
I
ones.
saw,
Yeah,
give me one second.
go ahead.
Um, Sunday night, I think Sunday night when I was watching the 49er game, and it was like, it was one of the prime games that they had for the NFL for the weekend. And of course, um, what am I trying to say? The commercials cost a lot of money for a game like that. And one of the commercials that I saw was Polestar pushing their electric cars. And a lot of times when you start seeing commercials on primetime television, it's a sign that they're going to really start pushing. And a lot of times that pushes the stock as well. So that's the reason why I call Polestar right here. If it holds above 280, it's a buy. If you want to take a look at that one,
Yeah, I just actually pulled it up on my chart.
Peter.
Yeah, hold on, let's make sure you can hear me. We do have, oh, there we go. I had myself muted, happily talking to myself. It'll be on the recording
Well,
now.
you were talking and nobody was listening.
No, that happens sometimes because we do have a lag just with Discord. But no, that was me muted. So way better than Lucid because it's not just a continuation down. So also probably some because I know a little bit more about the EV companies. If I were to take a choice between the two of them, it is Polestar hands down because they do have a chance of at least coming to maybe not a massive scale production like Tesla is doing for quite a while, but they do have some background experience and have made a failed go of it before. So worth considering. I do like the chart better for sure. So I'm looking at a little cluster of volume at 327, just above here. If we can make it above that, there's not a lot overhead until like $10, $10.50. Our volume point of control is 10.20. So I like it a lot, but it has to not be a large size position. So if you're listening to that and I say I like it a lot, this is still a scary chart because it could continue to sell down, but it's in a much better position for sure than Lucid as a company, but then also from the chart perspective.
Yeah, that's I was going to touch on that exactly when you said I wasn't comparing it to Rivian. It just so happens that an alert came up on another one while we were talking.
Yeah.
And I looked and I said, okay, I got to alert this one. But right when you said that, and I was comparing what we said about Rivian and what we're talking about this one.
Oh, Lucid.
No, I'm sorry, not Rivian. What were we talking about?
Lucid. LCID.
Lucid. Yeah. This one, if you look at it, you can see that it made a lower low, but it came back up and made a higher low. And right now it's making a higher high. So that's what I'm looking at right now. In the 280 hold is a spot that it could start really moving up. We just need volume on it.
All right,
I should probably post that chart. And I'm also looking at the volume. I don't know that it'll get there today, but it's almost a half, it's at almost 50% average volume. But I'm looking at, I brought this up on my trading view, and it looks better than the chart I was looking at on Yahoo. The Yahoo chart I use just because it's really easy for me to run across and look at everything I need to look at. Polestar also has earnings in 30 days.
I don't know if I like that. We'll see. They are definitely not profitable yet.
And what now?
They are definitely not profitable yet with where they are in production.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Definitely not. Okay, I just posted my weekly in there too.
Didn't do a week. I'm just going to post a daily. Yeah, I really like that. And you know, the other thing I'm noticing that the cloud looks like it's gonna start flipping green. Huh. Okay, well anyways, there we go. Is there anything else we were gonna look at, or did we cover them all?
I think there were a couple posted inside Market Talk, and they are harder to go back. So much easier in the channel where we're posting the charts just for future references. But I think when I was over there, I saw one or two. So I'm going to go see if I can find them.
Coin was one. I'll bring that one up now while you're looking.
And the other
I
one
just
was
got a couple,
Roblox.
we got a couple more minutes. Maybe we can cover coin and then that'll be a wrap. Huh. It's not ugly.
It looks kind of indecisive to me, but let's see. I'm going to go out to on the monthly. I'm not super excited about it. I have levels on the chart already from having marked this up previously. So we bounced off the weekly level that I planted at for 76.24, and that was our open today. We are still in the uptrend. So I'll just go ahead and repost this chart. These are no new levels, just put it in a little bit more volume below us.
Yeah, I don't really particularly like it, but I don't hate it either.
Yeah, I'm a in between on it. I wouldn't trade this right here. It's not my style at all.
I'm drawing drawing a trend line off the top of the wicks back to, you can get them to hit, on the top of the wicks back to July 14th. I love trend lines, by the way. This one here. I don't know if I buy it now, but I think that, I mean, if you want to, if you really want to get into it, I try and get back into it around 74, somewhere around 74, 75. That I wouldn't buy it here, no. I would buy it on a bounce somewhere around 74 if it happens in the next week or so.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's complete indecision for me. Yeah, looking at it more, flipping out to daily. If I had to trade it,
It's not ugly. It's just not interesting.
if I had to trade at 71-ish range on a bounce off the trend line that I posted in the channel, in the Tuesday Lunch and Learn thread, I might be interested in a bounce off of there. I can't really right here.
Yeah, the reason why I like it is the reason why I figure 74, 75, even 73 somewhere, is because it did make a higher low. It is making a higher high here. And if it heads back down, 74, 75 will be a higher low, but it also is going to be bouncing off a trend line on the top and also a bounce off the trend line on the bottom. I'll post that in market. Well, not market chat. I'll post it in our channel there. That was for Shell Shock.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shell Shock. Now I lost our. Everything I kind of described right there, and that's it in a nutshell on the chart there. Cedar, I think that's it for today.
Where's your first attachment on that bottom trend line? I think we have them pegged in the same place, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it exactly where I'm talking. I'm just
Okay.
showing the area
Just the
and
general.
intersection and the higher lows and the higher highs. And the reason why I thought it 73 to 75. So 74 basically would be a spot to try to maybe catch a bounce on it off both those trend lines, and it also making a higher low.
Awesome. All right. I also have to head out, so it was good catching up with you, and trade safe, everyone. Make sure that you're looking at your higher time frames, even if you are day trading. I have my 2 different chart setups that I do for the higher time frames with the white candles, but also with colored candles, just looking at things differently, taking the perspective to different ranges, and not just getting stuck on a 5-minute chart zoomed into just the day, because there's some very important information on the higher time frames.
And I just want to say, guys, thanks for sending us the charts. I like doing this, but I like to be busy when I'm doing it. So please keep the charts coming. And also, we're going to be closing the monthly feedback here in just I don't know, Cedar, probably in another 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'll probably close it here shortly. We have our weekly staff meeting that we go in and once we've reviewed all of the feedback and kind of, gotten some ideas from our members, then we go and discuss it as a group each month. And we did completely revamp the survey this month. So lots of different questions about channel utilization and more specific stuff. So even if you have filled it out in the past, filling them out monthly takes a couple of minutes, and it lets us know where you are as far as experience in the server and how things are going. So there's also a $5 off credit for your next monthly bill. So wherever the date goes in, the next one will have a credit for that to thank you for the feedback, because it really does help us. We really do like to listen to our members, and we can't act on every single thing. But if we see multiple people mentioning a similar thing, then we talk about it more in depth as a team, because it's important that, more than one person, it could be something to pay attention to for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're saying the same thing every month and you feel like you're unheard, no, every single thing that everybody writes in there is read. We read every single one of them.
Yep.
And if you say, you know what, for 5 times I've mentioned that I want, such and such, and you guys don't listen to me. Well, no, we do listen to you. And if someone else brings up the same thing, eventually what you're saying and other people start saying, and we see that it's something that we need to change, we do. So don't think it falls on deaf ears. We do look at everything, and we take everything into consideration. And even if somebody comes up with an idea that we didn't think about, that we really like, even though it's not something that anybody else said, if we like the
Oh,
idea,
yeah.
we're going to talk about that as well.
We are all over that kind of thing. So we're always looking for new ideas, new concepts, new feedback. But if you don't say anything,
Exactly.
we
So
can't do it.
I guess the point here is, if you could take it upon yourself and take 5 minutes and go fill it out if you haven't, please do in the next 20 minutes or so that we can close it, and we can start dissecting it and looking at what we're going to talk about for the meeting after market close. That said, thank you guys so much for sending the charts in. I really like doing it. Like I said, I like to stay busy. So
Yeah. We also, so if you've got requests, we love to see them, love to talk about them. And like last week, we talked, I think, a little bit about a few tickers that we were interested in. There weren't really any chart requests. And so we actually delved more into the psychology piece of trading, which I think we should probably consider, having a little segment anyway, that's, a couple minutes worth of whatever the general recommendation as far as psychology is, based on what we're seeing our members talking about and struggling with. Just a quick little blurb on the market in general that day, I think would be kind of cool to add to this. But anything, guys. We like to be able to give you feedback and talk about what we're seeing, and plan on continuing to do this as long as we've got people interested in it. Okay, we'll catch you.
All right, Cedar.
Okay, see you later.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice talking with you again.
Yep, we'll see you soon.
And we'll